Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We have good news and bad news.
Yeah, originally this video was mostly good news and now it's kind of both.
Yeah, we were about to film it and then something else happened and
we're gonna wrap it all into one.
Here we are. So
yes. It's a big transplant update for our son.
For those of you that don't know, our son Sullivan was born in kidney failure around 2 years ago. Close.
Yeah, we're close to 2 years now.
Close to 2 years ago. He's been on dialysis for exactly 365 days as of today. He's on 19 doses of medications daily, eats through a G-tube, but you'd never know. And he's the happiest kid that's ever lived. So.
And he has met milestones and just kind of exceeded doctors' expectations. He walks, he talks. You literally would never know unless you did.
He's a miracle, for sure. So now, to catch everyone else up, you may know, she tried to give her a kidney, and after a long process, she was unfortunately denied. And then we found someone else from our church who selflessly was very excited to do this, and unfortunately, she can't give her kidney either. Yeah,
it's been a crazy process, just in her case and in my case, discovering things about our own health that we had no idea until you go digging and trying to find reasons. And so we are thankful the doctors caught what this is so that she is safe. That's, you know, we care about that a ton. And so she will not be giving her kidney. There's kind of no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, we were bummed.
Yeah. It was one of those things where it was just like, here we go again.
Yeah, it just seemed like the stars were like aligning.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before, but having a medical journey, there's so much like hope and then dashed and then hope and then it gets dashed again. And so we're, you know, maturing in our relationship with Christ and trying to understand like why things don't go the way we want them to, and we know like, his plan will be better, but there are those moments when you're like, why? Like, I don't get it. And this was definitely one of those again for us. So we found out the news a few days ago, so we've had some time to process it and talk about things and talk to her, and obviously there's disappointment, but what can you do? You know, it's just what it is.
Yes, so now the good news.
This is really good news.
Yes. Take it away.
So also last week we met with the surgeon who's going to be doing Sully's transplant, and we had kind of been meeting with him every 3 months just for size to see if Sully was big enough to even get a transplant. So they kind of were finding the donor preemptively because they do transplant adult kidneys into toddlers, and so we needed him to be big enough for that kidney to even fit. And finally the doctor looked at his stomach and he looked at us and he said, I think I can fit it in there. I think we're good to go.
Which is funny though, because the big update when they said his size was the issue, not his weight, or his length was the issue and not his weight.
Yep.
He was like 80 centimeters, and they said he needed to be 90.
Yeah.
So then when we went in and they measured him and he was 81 and a half. Yep. And we're like,
I know.
But then he was like, well, let me take a look at his stomach. And he said that because of dialysis, it stretched his stomach out. And he's kind of a torso kid, you know?
Yeah, he's more torso than legs.
He's one of them torso kids.
Oh my gosh.
So, he's got little legs.
Okay, so anyways, it was like the most nonchalant thing in the world too. He's like, yeah, he's big enough, we can go ahead. And Billy and I just looked at each other like,
yeah.
What did you just say? Like, we're ready? Like, this is happening because it's been so long.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that at that time we thought
the donor was going to be approved.
Yeah, so he was basically saying, I'm just waiting to hear from them and then we'll schedule it.
And it was going to be like within months.
Literally
within 3 months.
2 days later, they were like, yeah, you don't have a donor anymore.
Yes.
So that leads us to our new revelation. We've been weighing many options.
Yes.
And to me, it feels like a door's been shut. Taylor's a little more like, well, maybe, or maybe third time's a charm.
Yeah.
But he's big enough now, and there's risk involved with dialysis.
There's a ton of risk.
Yes, people are always saying like, well, he's doing fine on dialysis, so you don't need to worry. But dialysis is very dangerous.
It's very dangerous. You're always one day away from an infection that can be life-threatening. He throws up all the time. He has to take so many medications because of dialysis. Like, a transplant is far more ideal than dialysis in almost any case.
Yeah, so we've been weighing the option of like, what's going to get this done the fastest.
Because we want him to get a kidney.
Yeah, and part of us at first was selfishly like, is this because we're tired of dialysis?
Right.
But in reality, it's more so what's best for Sully.
And the trauma of the things that he has to go through too. I always lean towards wanting to do it younger, just so that there is less memory of some of these things. Like, he gets a weekly shot, and he's starting to understand it and be afraid and want to hug me the whole time. And he said, no, like this week. And so, like, there's things like that where we want to get that part of his life done.
Yeah.
There are some pros to living donation. There are also some pros to deceased donation. I don't want to say like the cool thing, but the nice thing about having a child on dialysis is they're at the tippy top of the deceased donor list. They will always get first choice over an adult. And
your time on the list starts when you start dialysis. So Sully's already has a year of wait time, even though he wasn't active. If he activates, say tomorrow, he's been activated for over a year.
Yes, and the usual wait time for a child his age is a year. And so the fact that he backdates a year means that kidney could come anytime. And so with living donation, that process takes 3 to 6 months. I've never seen it take 3 months. It's always been longer. For me, it was 9 months. And so that option is potentially a lot longer. And the question you might ask, and one that we asked as well, is why can't he be on both? Why can't we have a living donor being worked up at the same time as we're waiting to see if a deceased donor is a possibility? And they said in very, very rare cases will they do that. I don't know why. I think it might be like insurance and money things.
Yeah, but they're meeting on this coming Tuesday.
Monday.
Wow. I know. Learn something new every day.
Quick.
On Monday, to discuss if we are one of those rare cases. I don't see us being one because
I don't know.
Sully actually is doing better on dialysis than some kids. So like,
yeah, he's not
as extreme as his case is. That there's worse. So I don't think Sully would be an exception. But I don't know.
We'll see. Because if that's an option, we'll absolutely do that, and then we'll jump to the next person on the living donor list, because there are a few more. Another pro of living donation is you get to plan it, whereas deceased, they said like it can be a midnight surgery and a 10 p.m. phone call that gets you there by midnight, so we do the surgery. So it's a lot to like think about of like, just this could happen at any moment, right? Like,
yeah, but it's not like we're doing anything else.
It could be a transplant surgery, all of those things. The other pro of having a deceased donation is that there's the potential of getting a younger kidney for Sullivan. So deceased donors, I mean, to be a living donor you have to be at least 18, but a lot of the times you're going to get a little bit of an older kidney than that, whereas deceased, it can be any age. Yeah. And Seattle Children's get some of the first pick of kidneys on the whole West Coast, and so I know they would do a wonderful job for him and get him the very best kidney. Our life would be a lot more up in the air, but I mean, we're used to that at this point, so we're just trying to make the best call for our family. So that's kind of where we're at. I don't know that there's like a firm decision yet, kind of pending what Seattle Children's will tell us on Monday. That's what's happened.
It's been a crazy week, very exhausting, but
yeah.
Actually, you should have worn the dress. Taylor wanted to wear a dress for this video because we're going out later. Yeah. Because person that got trained to help connect Sully just happened to be free on the 1-year dialysis anniversary. So we took it upon ourselves
to celebrate. Yeah.
Nothing crazy, but
we get to go on a date tonight.
Yeah, I could have worn a suit in this video.
You can wear a suit tonight?
Next time.
Yeah.
I only have one suit.
The blue one?
Yep.
I like that suit.
Toro has it.
Toro, give us our suit back.
So yeah, we're surviving. Sully's doing as good as he can, and we're ready to move on.
We're ready to get this boy a kidney.
And then we'll be at the transplant house for 90 days minimum. So
Look forward to all that content.
See ya.